Hey guys, it's the second episode of the announcements podcast today, and I'm here with Coco.
Hello.
I'm Eyesonjune, by the way, and we're going to be talking about some stuff that we've announced throughout the past couple weeks and the things that are coming up that we haven't talked about yet. We're going to be hosting a poll um, uh, near the end of the video, so make sure you watch it all the way through because we're going to be talking about some exciting new features that you guys can vote on which one to for us to work on. So stay watching the video if you want to talk about or if you want to
Yep.
vote on that. So um, I guess first things first, I'm going to give the mic to Coco.
Yep.
Have him talk about the reset and the
Yep.
chunks.
So the last couple days, we've been seeing a lot of interaction within the community. A lot of new players, a lot of players becoming more active again after the reset. That's been great fun for us to watch, as well as partake in, because we actually played a little bit of a survival gameplay for ourselves, just to get the true Carbonite experience. Sadly, there have been a lot of broken chunks in the map. I've been working very hard together with Ison to find all the numbers of the chunks that correspond to where they are in the world, so we can list them and potentially remove them from the world file to have the world fix them on their own. But there have been a bunch of setbacks that prevent us from doing that properly. So we have to do a lot of manual extra manual labor to copy them over from my personal computer over to the server. Blah blah blah. Long story. It'll take a while to fix. For the time being, proceed with caution around these areas because there is a very high likeliness of them being completely removed, including anything you break or build there, and there will be no way of you getting it back. So please do not build your houses there. There will be no way for you to get your stuff back.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, so when he says don't build around there, I would recommend that anytime you're planning to set your home base, fly around and see if there's any broken chunks near it because it will probably get reset if there's anything within 100 blocks or so. And like he said, there's no way to recover that because the core protect logs where we usually roll back stuff are going to be deleted because the entire region file will be deleted. Another thing is that um, basically we're never going to get all of these chunks fixed. It's like totally unrealistic to think that we will eventually have all of them fixed, but we can fix the ones around. Well, we'll continuously be fixing them throughout the time the server is up, which will hopefully be a long time. And also the map is like 440 million or four. It might be hundreds of millions of chunks, and we will never be able to get 100% done. But lastly, if you see a broken chunk or a broken area, either screenshot it and write down the coordinates later, or just write down the coordinates in bug reports on the Discord and send them, and we will. You don't even have to write there's a broken chunk. Just write the coordinates, and we'll know what you mean. So we'll add that to our list to fix. So yeah. Um, anyway, so I'm going to be moving on and talking about some of the suggestions that we've gotten in the last couple of weeks. So first, we're going to be talking about suggestion from Swither. That's he said, can we nerf skeletons like accuracy? Because I'm sure you're all aware, even if you're flying, they tend to hit you, and they're very accurate. The thing is that we've already nerfed their range by about 40 to 50%. I believe their range is 18 blocks right now. So my recommendation is just stay further up in the air, and if you're trying to build or something and you want them to not bother you, just put torches or some sort of light source around your base. Obviously, you can still wander in, but they're not going to spawn there. I mean, you can always put a wall around your base as well, like with some cobblestone walls or whatever. But we're not going to, or we're not at least we're not planning to nerf them any further. The next suggestion was from Eldwix, or however you say that. He says he wants to see a races or classes plugin that has some sort of like uh, separate groups that you can go into that have certain advantages and disadvantages, and basically, like what we think about that is um, it's a great idea, but the issue is that first of all, I don't know if there's a plugin that does that, and if there, and the second issue is if there was a plugin that does that, it would be insanely difficult um, to like configure. And then if there is no plugin for that, then it'd be extremely expensive to commission from a developer. So if there is a plugin for it already, we may eventually add that, but it's not on our priority list right now. And if we do add it, it would be some sort of like branch off after the tier 10. So anyway, that's enough for that part. But then the last suggestion was uh, Dear Jerky said he wants all of the tiers and ranks and whatnot to get more homes because obviously our current system is a little restrictive in where you can put your homes. And like as a tier 1, you can't even really move your house because you can't set multiple warps to go back and forth. So um, we are probably going to add at least one home to each tier and rank, but that will probably happen within the next week or so because it's a pain to do for some reason. It's like really tedious and for no apparent reason. But anyway, that's just how the Essentials plugin works. And let's see, is there anything else to talk about for me? Oh yeah, so we are trying to commission some plugins right now. And if you don't know what that means, basically you pay an expert, like, plugin developer, to make something for you that uses their expertise. So like Fiverr would be an example of a place where you can pay people to do stuff for you, if you know what that is. But anyway, plugin developers don't work for cheap and or for free. So it's really expensive to commission even the simplest of plugins, um, and it's difficult for us to use our budget for that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to add a section of our web store where you can donate to our plugin budget. So you're basically making sure that money goes into new features, and um, you can put plugin suggestions in the suggestions channel, and if you get a lot of support for one of your suggestions, we'll actually create a separate category under that plugin budget so that people can donate directly to that plugin. The thing is that if we get multiple ones on there and one of them is like really more important or like gets a lot more support, community support, then we may move some of the funds from transfer some of the funds from the other plugins to that one in order to actually get a result. um, uh, so the funds you put into one plugin are primarily going to go towards that plugin, but it all depends on how much support it gets over time and how much support the others get. So keep in mind that you're not going to be always donating towards that plugin that you want. So I'm gonna move on to Coco. Do you have any specific things that you wanted to say about that?
No, I think that was pretty complete.
Okay.
I'll move on to the next bit. There have been we used to have a plugin that would allow you to break a tree in one hit after rank 4. Um, that plugin broke with the current Epic World Generator because, as you can see with the trees for on that volcano over there, for example, they are not vanilla trees. That tree would not work with that plugin. It would do very weird shit. It would break it halfway or whatever. So we removed the plugin. Now there is a plugin that comes with this terrain generating plugin that would do the same thing, but the problem with it is that there's a lot of bugs after it has been updated to 1.15 in a rush for the last 2 days. Um, we'll see if we get an update anytime soon. The developer has said that he is expecting um, his community work on it a little bit more than he is because he is working on fixing some of the bugs like we had with the terrain in our world, rather than actually trying to fix the tree breaking plugin. Um, so I'll give the word to Ison. He has a couple more things to say.
All right. So I'll be talking about some stuff about epic hoppers and epic furnaces. So we've had epic hoppers for a long time. I don't know if you guys know how it works, but I think that most of you use it to some degree. Um, I have some videos on it if you need. Just ping me and ask me some tutorials. But anyway, when we originally installed the plugin, there was this weird issue where the Hopper's autocraft feature um, would, first of all, any wood-based, crafting um, recipe would basically only take spruce wood for some reason. So, like, say you put a birch plank in, so it would autocraft birch planks. You put in birch wood and it wouldn't do anything. But if you put in spruce wood, it would craft birch planks, which doesn't make any sense. But then the other problem, and this was a bigger problem, is that it wouldn't ever consume wood in any crafting recipes, as far as I know, except like fence gates for some reason. So if you, say you were auto crafting chests, you put in 8 wood planks, spruce planks, and it would just infinitely craft as many chests as you needed, which is obviously very exploity. And we had to pretty much blacklist some of those wood-based recipes, unfortunately. However, on the bright side, or like it's been fixed. So in the last version of Epic Hopper, so it should be the plugin overall. It should be a little bit more optimized, so it doesn't cause as much lag, and as well as that, the auto crafting feature fully works now. There's nothing you can't craft, as far as I know. If you find a weird glitch in the crafting thing, please report it in bug reports. And then the second thing about Epic Hoppers is that we have implemented about a week or a week and a half ago, basically full auto sell functionality. So now any item you can sell in the GUI shop can be sold, or slash sell, can be sold through your hoppers automatically. And any time you set auto sell on, it gives the money to whoever placed the hopper originally. So keep in mind, you will have to place those hoppers if you want to profit from them. And also, they work when you're offline as well. They will still sell it and put it into your balance. The only thing is that they have to be loaded in. So, if you have a cactus farm or something like that, if the chunks aren't loaded in, of course, the cactus farm, first of all, doesn't work. And secondly, the hopper in turn does not work. So, if you have like a community base or a faction or clan or whatever you want to call it, that could be really, really immensely useful, because they're going to be flying around your base, or going around your base and keeping those chunks loaded in. So I highly recommend using the auto sell feature to to your benefit if you would like to. As for Epic Furnaces, we added that yesterday, and I've been still configuring it to make it very useful, but still really balanced. So um, I will probably be releasing the plugin for public use within the day here, because it won't take that much longer. But it's got a lot of really cool features, like has fuel share between the furnaces. The higher the level of the furnace, the longer the fuel lasts in the furnace. It also has remote control, so you can just type a command and remote control your furnace, or like take the items out of it or whatever. And also the speed increases with every level that you go up. Last but not least, it also gives you a bonus of X amount of items occasionally, depending on the level. When it smelts, an item. So say I put in 64 iron ore to a level 6 furnace, which is the highest level, it has a 3% chance of giving me 3 to 4 extra um, ingots every time it smelts one ore. So you'd end up with like 75 to 80 ingots instead of 64. So that can be really useful. Anyway, then of course we're always looking for exploits and bugs, and we're trying to fix them. So if you find an exploit, especially in the economy, please let us know immediately, preferably through a DM, but you can put it in bug reports. Just the issue is we don't want other people seeing it and using it until before we have the chance to patch it. So I would prefer you DM it to me or Coco. Or maybe one of the other staff if we're not online. But we're the ones who have to fix it anyway. So um, the uh, the thing about it is, like, basically, if you don't have anything to do, you could just look for exploits. I mean, it's not probably not that difficult to find one, and there's probably still a lot in there. We've patched a lot of them already, so even though we were very careful when we set up the economy. So you can get a hefty money reward for
Yeah, there have been
reporting exploits.
about 4 million total in bounties for reporting exploits in the economy to us so far.
Yeah.
So pretty
Um,
big bounties. Yep.
yeah. As for bugs, we will probably give some rewards for that, of course, depending on the magnitude of the bug. So put those in bug reports. We probably exploits are more fun to find and also a little bit more profitable for you guys, but um, always be on the lookout for bugs as well. And also, if you see anybody using an exploit, first of all, report them and report the exploit. So we'll give you a reward, and they may get a punishment depending on how much they exploited it, or they probably will get a punishment. Let's be honest here. So don't exploit things, and especially if you're going to report it, we'll know if you reported it and you were still using that exploit before. So be careful about that. Just follow the rules. You'll be fine. Um,
A lot of
and
trust.
that's about it
Yep.
for this
Yep, I think
that
that's
section.
very complete. So
Yep.
next topic is the TPA glitch that has been going around for the last couple of days, where you would basically teleport to a player, such as me teleporting to Ison right now. You would fall through the map all the way down into the void, causing you to lose all of your items without any chance of getting them back. Um, this would be caused by landing on snow of a certain height. There is no way to patch it as of right now. We'll see if we can get the developers to fix it for us. Maybe write an exception so you can teleport to players on snow. For now, we have instated a rule against having players teleport to you while you are on snow. If you do have a player teleport to you and they fall through the floor into the void, then you will be facing charges for TP trapping because you are the reason they lost their items. So please be careful while you're in the snow biome when teleporting players to and from yourself, um, as that might cause them to lose all their items, which of course is
Yeah.
not what anybody wants.
And
Um,
we will be adding a inventory log slash rollback plugin if we can find one. So if you do lose your stuff to a bug, or I mean that specific glitch or any other bug, then we'll probably try and refund your items if we get that plugin. So
of course,
hopefully we will.
of course. Um, Next thing was the Dynmap. As you can see in my chat, still it is spamming me full with messages on the progress of the Dynmap rendering the world, so we can see it in the web editor. Sadly, there are a lot of weird glitches because our map is for starters very large and also uses a custom world generating tool that will make it so it's very ugly and barely usable at all. So we will try to fix it, and if we can, then we will release it. If we can't, then sadly we will not be releasing the Dynmap at all. Um, Another thing we've been working on the last couple of days is removing slash fixing a couple of the custom enchants that we have in the game at the moment. Um, for example, the one that I put on the giveaway diamond pickaxe that would allow you to dig a 7x7 chunk or a block with only one, well, while only breaking one block, which is of course blatantly overpowered when mining anything at all. It would allow you to get tons of diamonds while mining with the Fortune 5 on the pickaxe that also had the custom enchant on it. So we did remove that one as well as a couple of other ones. For example, there was an enchant where you could fly around for whatever period you wanted without using any flight time or donator flight. So we removed that one as well. Of course, that's not supposed to be in the game. A couple of other high-ranking ones have also been removed. You shouldn't notice those as you are very unlikely to already have them. If you do have them equipped in the book or on your gear already, then they will just deactivate and stay there for without any consequences at all. Um, so anything to add?
Not really.
All right.
So here's the part where I'm going to be talking about that poll I mentioned earlier. So we have been hearing a lot of people asking us to add some sort of quest, uh, uh, like feature or PVE arena slash custom bosses. So we've definitely taken those into consideration. The last couple, like last month or so, we've just been way too busy to work on such a huge feature. So um, now we're finally thinking about doing it, and we want to hear which one you guys would rather see. So um, if you would rather see quests first, then react with A on the announcement where we post this video. There'll be A and B already there, so you can just react to one of the existing reactions on there. And for B, uh, if you click B if you want to see PVE or custom bosses, or that's pretty much what it's going to be like. If we have PvE, it probably will be just custom bosses, or maybe like a mob arena, or both. We found a plugin that allows us to make custom bosses, although they're not, as far as I know, there's no ability to make like custom scripted or custom made mobs or bosses, because um I guess, I mean, just in general, we don't have the coding expertise to script an entire mob and texture one. So unfortunately, we're probably just going to be relying on vanilla mobs, and then just
Yep.
buffing the hell out of them and giving them special abilities like the plugin allows. So we'll consider that if you guys vote for B a lot. And of course, even if like one of them, or when one of them wins, and the other one loses, that losing plugin or feature is not, we're not saying we're never going to do it. It's just whichever one we're going to do in what order. And of course, after we do that, there's probably going to be other stuff to work on, so you won't see the other one until a while later.
Yep.
Then two other things. One, we have a veteran rank available. We chose to have it, instead of people who are here before the reset, we're just having it people who have over 24 hours of play, or 24 or more hours of playtime already. That's slightly flexible. If you have like 23 and a half hours, we're not going to tell you, no, you can't do that. But up until now, um, or at least once we give out all of those ranks, we will let people have it if they have 24 more hours. Now, we already went through all of the play times, and the ones we notice had 24 or more hours have already gotten the rank, although it's invisible because it doesn't show up in a prefix or anything like that. Just ask us if you don't know if you have it, or if you want it, if you don't think you have it, or whatever. um,
One short thing I wanted to
you
say
can
about this is at
Okay.
spawn, I will add a small NPC in the corner of the spawn building. If you click it and you are teleported to another world, then that means you have the veteran rank. That way you can check if
Okay.
you already have it. If you do
Yeah.
not, and you use the /playtime command in game, and you get a playtime of over 24 hours and you don't have access to that world, then please do message either Ison or me, and we will prevent you the rank, of course, as soon as we
Yeah.
can.
And also preferably you could send a screenshot. But of course we can check it. Although for some reason our playtime plugin is not working for players who are offline anymore, which is just random because it used to, but whatever. Anyway, then also we got ourselves some epic
Epic
capes.
Caperoos.
Yeah, yeah, they're amazing. And if you see them, they're both the same, and they're really hot. So yeah, um, if we are considering trying to give these capes also to some other high-ranking staff members, but they're not cheap, so we'll see about that. But
Yep.
like probably the head mods or admins, and maybe the head builder will get them, as well as the owners. But of course, we don't have a huge budget right now, so we don't want to be spending a bunch of money on like personal items. It's
Something
just
fun
a
and
fun thing.
cosmetic for later. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this was the second ever podcast. For many more to come, because I think this is a really good way of presenting all the new changes to the community. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you want to see anything changed. Um, Personally, I think this is just a great way of doing this. If you want anything change, anything added, if you want to suggest any new features for either the podcast or the server, make sure to either send it to me directly, or in the suggestions channel, or in the comments of this video. I will try to read all of them. Um, Hopefully I don't forget to. um, I've been having a great time doing these. What about you, Ison?
Yeah, it's pretty great. I had two things left to say.
Go ahead.
Um, Number one, I congratulations to Logan LSD for being the most active player on the server. I thought I had no life, and I checked my playtime. It was 13 and a half hours, or 13 and a half days. And yeah, yeah, well, I thought that that was a lot. Well, Logan has 16 and a half days. Um, so congratulations on spending all of your time on our server. We really appreciate it. And then the last thing was Neon, the other owner, found out a way to do wireless redstone using epic hoppers. It has a range of up to 70, and it can actually go infinite range as long as it's loaded in, but it'll be a little slower. Anyway, the point is I'm going to make a video on how to do that soon. So if you want to see that video, I don't like pitching my YouTube channel too much, but I have a YouTube channel called Eyesonjune, and I'll put a link in probably off topic or on this announcement. So please stay tuned if you want to hear about that. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to
Yep.
say, and I guess
Thanks for
Coco can
watching, and
finish it up.
see you next time. And on the server, of course, have fun playing, and see you.